All right, guys. We've got MARU in the bottom right side of the map, Classic in the top left. It's the GSL Round of 8 Group A, Classic in the top left, MARU in the bottom right. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I just watched a few seconds of this replay before we started recording, and I'm upset. I'm really upset because MARU Classic's a fantastic match. What I love about MARU, he's an old man. He's a strategy master. He's a player who surely would not devolve into speed mining. Oh, no. He's joined the young Zoomers. Okay, on the positive side, as much as I hate watching people spam individual shift clicks to make their workers mine like 2% faster here in the middle, like he was just doing, the fact that he's doing something like that, that's quite APM intensive in the early game for very marginal gains, does indicate that his wrists are better than ever. We've already talked about how he's at a clinic at the moment, physio sort of clinic, doing exercises and therapy and all sorts of things, and treatments that a whole bunch of professional athletes use, and apparently it's been giving him the best results he's ever had after years of floundering with his shoulder injury. So his, maybe he's, I mean, the fact that he was speed mining a little bit at the start there, something Cyril even refuses to do because he can't be bothered. Kind of awesome to see MARU with a new attention to detail and the speed to keep it up as well. Chat says speed mining is really good for the 2-1-1. I mean, it just gets you a couple more minerals. Any build order, it just makes that a little bit tighter. I think as a Terran, honestly, I feel like I'd care the most. It does help no matter what, especially if you're doing like a 15-15 with Zerg. Any of these builds where you just need every mineral you can get at the start for it to really pop off, which is kind of most StarCraft builds, but especially certain ones like 15-15 for Zerg, 2-1-1. For a Protoss player, if you're doing like one of these no scout gas first builds, it just allows your opening to be insanely greedy. Tapped over there as well. Reaper's going to be moving across this map, guys. It is a factory, so 1-rax expand, no SCV scout. Kind of risky opening against some of the modern Protoss players. Classic, though, is famous for being very defensive, and what I'm looking for in this series is, can Classic play against his image? Because MARU and Clem have both been punishing Classic. They're basically saying, you are not scary with Blink Stalkers. You are way too defensive, and I can be greedy as heck against you. And I wonder if he's got some way of going against that image, because so many Terrans are just getting away with murder when they're playing against Classic, and they just don't build tanks. They sometimes skip the bunker as well. They get 3 barracks out with stim and shield so early after whatever their opening harassment is. And if he just sits at home, he gets punished. So I think Classic has kind of been pushed here to broaden his playstyle. I have seen him mix in 1 or 2 4-gate blinks. But, you know, it's so funny to see the way people play against Hero, very safe, and against Classic, so risky. And you kind of see how you can optimize for a certain playstyle, but I think staying unpredictable is the best. And that's why Hero's ability to swap between extreme greed and aggression is what makes him so hard to play against. Good micro here for Classic. Just getting a few hits off without taking too much damage. Shades away, no damage, in fact, for now. Trying to escape the Reaper. Reaper's going to try to hunt him down, but misses him. Classic gladly escapes here. Should have already shaded, though. A little slow on the shade. And he will take a bit of damage, but shouldn't die. Oh, famous last words. Banshee cloak on the way behind this. No sentry, as far as I know. Yeah, no sentry. And it's going to be a 3-gate blink robo with a wall off. 1 Stalker ventures forward. But the Reaper skips and slips by. Second Stalker moves out to the left. We'll get a few hits on the Reaper. Reaper should turn around and run away. Now, MARU sees no 3rd Nexus just yet. Doesn't tell him too much. And he's going 3rd gas. Ooh, he wants to be building tanks non-stop from here, as well as Banshees. And then still have a bit of gas extra going to stim and shields a bit later. Why would you build the Templar at the Twilight in the wall? To get the wall off as quickly as possible. Doesn't care about hiding it. It's a very standard tech structure. So Classics, quite a few people have been doing this recently, and I think they just like having that really early wall off so they can plug it with a single unit against, say, 2 Reapers and a Hellion or anything like that. He did Probe Scout, so he knew it was a 1-rax expand early, so feels completely unnecessary, if you ask me. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to hate on it. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's so dumb for doing this. I would not do it. I don't really like having wall-offs against Terran in general. I really feel like they can backfire. Oh, the Prism barely missed the Banshee up there. Cloak's done, guys. Banshee's going to come in. There is an Observer, but it's moving out right now. The Stalkers are moving out as well. Classic has to react quickly. This Banshee, ooh, it's going to do some big damage, man. 5 minutes and 15 seconds. It's a very early Banshee. A lot of players hit a little bit later than this, but MARU went straight for it. I think he studied Classic's openings and kind of knew, hey, this is something he's not always prepared for. Going to grab 2 or 3 more probes before getting to the corner. Could grab even more. 8 probes? 9? Ooh, he stays too long. And he will lose the Banshee. Probably could have just hid that in the corner 1 or 2 probes earlier. 9 probes is still excellent for the first Banshee. Prism's coming in right now with a Stalker drop. Stalker drop's very low impact. Tanks are incredibly safe here. So MARU respecting that Classic has been switching his playstyle up. And it's kind of cool to see this shift. Classic knows he's got to be more aggressive. He goes 3-gate blink this time, which is a more aggressive build order. Not as safe as his 2-gate builds that he tends to do. But MARU knows about it. He's prepared as well, and you can see how quickly these players adapt. There's these mini-metas that develop between top pros. Now, Classic should probably be chronoing probes, in my opinion. After taking that economic damage, the fact that he's down on workers, or barely even, is not good for him. Trying to micro his Stalker drop in, wanted to drop it on the tank, but has to pull away. Doesn't lose many hit points on the Prism itself. Now, remember, a Banshee died, and yet there's still 2 available. A lot of players will not rebuild 2 Banshees, but good positioning. 2 Stalkers and Knobs in the main, 4 Stalkers, 2 Sentries here, and I think this should be good for Classic if he responds quickly. And the Banshees fly into him, so very nice response. Ooh, he tries to siege up the Observer to get that Banshee, not quite able to. He's got a soft Stalker contained. 3rd Command Center goes down for MARU. Stim Shields +1. All almost finished. Medevacs are coming in. I would not be surprised if that bunker gets sold and the bio gathers up and pushes out here in the next few seconds. Forge and Robobay, as well as extra gateways on the way for Protoss, as Protoss goes up to 8 gateways here. 2 transforms. That's 6 warp gates. 7th and 8th building. Ooh, he's going to blink in. It's a cute move. 2 Marauders pop out immediately. Stalkers can only pick off 1 Marauder. Prism needs to get out, and he will lose 1 before having to head home. Charge is ready, but there's no Colossus just yet, and this is such a scary Terran army. He doesn't end up recalling the Stalkers. The Stalkers, I feel like, should be home by now. Classic's going to try and micro this good pullback with the Marauder. Oh, the Classic Stalker's going down, and oh, he completely missed the army. He completely missed the army. The Robo in the wall-off goes down. I absolutely hate Robos in the natural. I've always talked about it. I much prefer the Robo in the main. A lot of pros like it in the natural because then the Colossus gets to the fight quicker. But just as often, I feel like it does end up getting sniped down. The Zealots jump on top. The Widow Mines do massive damage. Yes, the tanks are gone, but that cost the entire Zealot army. Banshee's coming in with Cloak as well. And MARU is going to trounce Classic here in the winners match of GSL Round of 8 Group A. Really stunningly decisive damage. I would have liked to see Classic chrono probes a little bit earlier after the initial damage. But if you skip the sentry and someone rushes Cloak that early, you're always going to struggle to defend it. It is what it is. MARU has been using so much Cloak Banshee over the last year, and he continues to find success with it. Alright guys, MARU in the top left side of the map. In the bottom right side, we got Classic, who's doing a very unclassic strategy. He's going to go forward with the first probe, build a pylon, send it to harass, and then send another probe out to build a gateway. Meanwhile, MARU is doing a Macarax. He's going to hide a barracks, pretending he's proxying it. Is he doing a 1-1-1? This looks like a 1-1-1 all-in. I think MARU wants to build a reactor here, factory here, and then go for a marine tank all-in. Oh my. I think. I don't know for sure, but it feels that way. Second gateway proxy against this. I think this is a build order win for Classic, guys. Because assuming MARU does what I think he does, these Marines are just separated from the base, and I just don't think you can ever join them up with your tanks and Cyclones unless the barracks goes unscouted. But then how do you ever get Marines back to the high? I think you're just dead. I think you're just dead as MARU. Now, he might go Marine or Reaper first to kill the probe, and then do whatever he's planning to. He's going to proxy the factory as well, is he? Well, that's not good. Ooh. Remember, he has an all-in where he proxies them down here, and he pushes from the ledge and kills your Cybercore and Gateway there. He's done this to a few people recently, and he is going to build the factory over here. Well, he's dead. 2-gate Zealot Stalker's just going to push up his ramp and kill him. Unfortunate matchup of builds for Maru. Good matchup of builds for Classic. And like I said, Classic's been way too defensive recently. It is good to see him be a bit more aggressive. It didn't work out in game 1. It was kind of like a conservative 3-gate wall-off blink, you know, into that. But now in this game, he gets right up in Maru's face. Stalker number 1 on the way. Starts another Zealot. He did not mine enough gas. Oh, you're meant to put guys on gas much earlier. He messed up his build. Classic is really not a cheeser at heart these days, is he? He used to be like a bit of a cheeser. He'd mix it up. These days, you could tell he was waiting for the gas. He realized, wait, I don't have any gas. Just queues up another Zealot. He should have put 3 workers on this gas the moment it was up with this build. I know it's kind of tough to do that with how much minerals you need for the 2-gate, but you need a lot of gas off of one geyser to get multiple Stalkers out. You can see he's only building 1 at a time. Finally gets that 3rd Stalker started. But it's a Widow Mine and nothing else. Maru has 1 Reaper and no other fighting units. He scouts no natural. He sees some Zealots and Stalkers walk up his ramp, and he very well might just tap out, because this is absolutely game over. He took a blind gamble with his build, as did Classic. Classic followed up with his scout, of course, after committing to the pylon. And now Maru is pretty dead. Starts a tech lab over there. He's got 1 Marine, 1 Reaper, and he's about to be supply blocked. Stalker Zealot goes in the worker line. The Marine, which is 50% of his firepower, gets 1 shot by the Stalkers. Well, 2 shot, I should say. The SCVs are going to try to surround. Zealots do fight pretty well against SCVs. And yeah, the SCVs do surround, which is kind of cute. Does need to take care of the Reaper. That's the vast majority of the damage output here for Maru. The Stalker gets bounced, but you can always go hide behind the minerals here. And the SCVs can't really surround you there very well. Already, this is so much damage, so little mining going on right now. You got to realize 900 minerals a minute, every second this continues, is a disaster for Maru. You can't have all your SCVs off the line for this long. It's so bad. The Stalkers do get surrounded, and they suck at kind of killing things here, which is hilarious. And this Stalker's going to die to the Widow Mine. At least he gets revenge with that Stalker. But the Cyclone will manage to save his dude. If Maru brings this game back, the Marine kills that Stalker. The Cyclone's going to kill this one. What in the world? Did we just lose 6 Stalkers? We did. Oh my god. I mean, he lost so much mining. He's got 18 workers. Surely Maru's still dead. He's going to go Cloaked Banshee? He's thinking about it. And he's like, nah, I need to build more units. He got so little gas, though. It's a Robo and another Gateway. There's still no Nexus for Classic, so it's a one-base war. He scouts the proxy over here with the single Marine drop. I am shocked that Maru didn't just GG. I can almost guarantee you Beyond just taps out. But Maru's like, yeah, people screw up against me, man. I hang in there. Like, Beyond, not Beyond. Maru just makes people work for it. There's no such thing as an easy victory against guys like Maru, and it's part of what builds their image, makes them so effective. Classic realizes, like, if I get rid of this factory over here, that's going to be huge. Medevac in the open. Maru does boost away at the last second. He's got a Cyclone. It is damaged, and a bunker with 1 Marine inside. Nicely done. Single Marine over here is going to, I guess, scout the proxy. I think he's checking for Dark Shrine, is he? I can't afford to build detection. Like, he has to kind of know there's a Dark Templar coming if he wants to actually make detection. 23 workers against 24. Classic starts the Nexus. Maru's just going to see if he can work his way back into this game. He will do a 1-base all-in. Can see no command center. Says, you know what? Maybe Classic gets a bit too greedy here. It's possible. Dude, if he wins with a 1-base all-in in this game, I'll be so upset for Classic. As good as Maru is, if you're as good as Classic, you're not meant to lose this matchup of build orders. You're just not meant to. And that's something that, this is how pro gamers talk. They will absolutely, he would say the same thing. If he loses it, he will be devastated. Dude, I love this little mushroom grove down here next to this big bit of metal sticking out of the ground. 4 Stalker drops excellent. It's really nice. He sees extra barracks, doesn't see extra command center. Could pick up that Stalker at any moment. Of course, he didn't want to at first because you need 4 Stalkers to 1-shot. Good medevac pick up on the Cyclone. Does get pushed away. 2 SCVs, bit of chip damage, not too bad. Command Center does start for MARU. Only after pumping these units for a while. Charge and Mortals on the way for Classic. And Dark Shrine starts. Dark Shrine cancels. So why did he cancel that? Did he see the Raven, guys? Well, he definitely sees it now, so it was a good call. Might have already seen it. Another barracks goes down, hey? Okay. Wait, didn't he already have a 3rd barracks building? Am I crazy? Oh, medevac goes down. Nice move there for Classic. I thought he already had a 3rd barracks building, but I guess it was just the 2. Now he's got the engineering bay there. And the command center. Does Classic feel confident getting a 3rd nexus? Looks like the answer is yes. This probe moves over. The big advantage is both your main bases are going to mine out in very soon. In fact, Classic, even at 7.5 minutes, has already lost this mineral patch. These ones are about to run out. This one's getting low. So that 3rd base opens up new mineral patches to mine from. MARU, of course, in a similar situation. For him, it's just going to be getting to the natural. She's still not mining from. He's just now transferred. He should be dropping a mule in the main on that patch before lifting, but he lifts straight away. It's fine. There is a shield battery building for Classic. Seems kind of unnecessary, but I guess he's a bit traumatized from Banshees, isn't he? The Banshees. Good little mini wall off. Might buy him a second here. 3 tanks going to put out a lot of firepower, but not much answer to the Zealots. Siege tanks need to focus the units that aren't Zealots. The Marines here struggling. They're trying to pull back. They were worried about the Archon, but it's a fake. And the Immortal's going to take care of those Siege tanks. Classic with an excellent push here. Charge Zealots against those Marines just before Stim and +1 comes in. Well, not just before, but well before +1 comes in. A little before Stim comes in. And that's going to be a really nice timing. Classic can probe behind this, add splash damage, or just continue to commit to Zealots and finish him off. And indeed, being the safe player that he is, Classic will add Templar Archives and transfer onwards. MARU is hibachi, says chat. What's a hibachi? Is it an anime thing? Hibachi. MARU just coping, some would say. I think for MARU, this is annoying as opponent, though. It's just like, you haven't killed me. Is he going to get force fielded? If he doesn't watch out, Classic will trap those Marines. He'll have to quickly pick them up. I like that he scares him back and then goes for the drop. Classic does not see that drop going over there. How do you not GG from now? Well, what does it cost MARU to stay in the game? He could already be thinking about the next game, his strategy. And there's a lot of players who get way too tense when they play StarCraft. But if you can effortlessly just play from behind and make your opponent work to finish you off, it can give you a good oomph. It builds your aura as well. I mean, you've made as many epic comebacks as MARU have over the years. Worth always trying for it. High Templar's looking exposed. MARU gets a few probes. The probe's trying to fight. He gets the High Templar. Nice. Very cute. Raven's going to come in as well for some auto turret harassment. Of course, mining only on 1 base, guys, at 10 minutes. Not the best. It's kind of like in 2026 having your country have an economy based off of, like, I don't know, harvesting mud. You know, it's like we are the world's #1 exporter of mud and mud-related mineral deposits or something. Like, you're like, what technology do you use to excavate them? You're like, our people have very strong hands that they use to scoop the mud. And you're like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work against the guy who's got all of these upgrades in tech, 3 bases. This is mud scooping Terran against Storm is now in there. Blink is coming in. Forge to fill these gaps in the defenses. Mad respect for that Mud Wizard. We all know the Mud Wizard clip, guys. But I don't know if you can base an economy on such foul magics. Good Storm. Good second Storm. MARU, got to pull out of those storms. Got to leave. You got to leave, bro. He's trying to get damage. He's just going to GG, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, MARU at this point is like, I am so dead. What am I doing? Classic does win game 2. All right, guys. Classic in the bottom right. He's gone for an immediate probe yet again. This is so odd to see Classic playing like Hero and sending an immediate probe across the map. I think he's kind of like, look, Maru's got some cheeky proxies, some tricks up his sleeve. I'm going to go for this. Now, I wonder if Classic ever does this into a Nexus before Cybercore, because I love that opening. I think if you're going to do this, you always delay the barracks. You can see it's already placed a bit differently. Sometimes they lift it off before even building the Reaper. Usually not. Usually it's still an early Reaper. But you're distracting their build, disrupting them a little bit. And I feel like the extra layer of greed of going Nexus before Cybercore afterwards just adds a very foul and frustrating sort of level to it, which Terran players really do find very annoying. And if they don't go Reaper, you don't get punished at all. Even if they do go Reaper with a bit of probe micro, usually you're fine. But he forgot to go... No, he just went Cybercore before Nexus. Yeah, it is what it is. Probe rotating around. Trying to see what he can do. Command Center only now has minerals, but notice the probe's still got a good amount of hit points, so he's actually going to delay this a good 5 seconds, maybe longer. Hey, Classic doing his best hero impersonation. Very well done. Second gas goes down, Cybercore's on the way. Of course, this was a single gas opening. Barracks will most likely lift off after this Reaper and then build a reactor. Or does he go Marine first? Okay, I'll build the Marine first. Just keeping it standard, no real adjustments from a normal build. He's already building the factory here, so factory and starport can create a wall off. The tank behind it later against any blinks into the main. People in chat are talking about Tides of Darkness. We were listening to the Warcraft 2 soundtrack the other day. It's one of my favorites to just jam a ladder session to, you know? Get in there and just have that nostalgic soundtrack. Beyond the Dark Portal, though. That's when Blizzard started going downhill. Adding heroes to my strategy game. How dare they? How dare they? Simping for Ilaria broke RTS. We didn't know it at the time. That was the beginning of what would become Warcraft 3 and then Dota. Silly MOBA games. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Obviously, I am kidding, guys. Big thank you to Chewbacca, by the way. Appreciate your tip watching live. Thank you so much. So far, pretty conservative, guys. Twilight Council in the wall off again. Reaper will come in and see it. There is an opening on the right side of that Twilight Council. I don't think that was intended. Dep's going to come forward. He really is doing a hero impersonation. Because a Stalker can't fit through that, but like Reapers and Adepts and stuff, like very small units can. So I don't think Hellions can fit through there either. So he's probably going to want to build a pylon or something, or a gateway later to make that walled off. Not that wall-offs are the most important thing against Terran. The Adept does go in, does end up falling. Didn't get the SCV. It's going to be a Robo and a third gate. Very conservative for Classic and Maru. Are we going to go Banshee again? No, we are not. Going to be a Raven and a second barracks. Now, how greedy does he feel he can get away with? This game is a bit more standard. Does he think after game one, can he skimp on the siege tanks this game? Maybe just build one tank and then swap the barracks over? Does he still build 2 or 3 siege tanks and really respect Classic's ability to go aggressive? It is game 3 here in the GSL. It's the winner's match as well, so it's a very important match. Touch me again and you'll pull back a stump. That was an actual Ilaria voice line if you spam clicked it. There was a lot of funny voice lines. Was it the grunt in Warcraft 3? He's like, "Stop touching me! Stop touching me there! I'm not that... Me not that kind of orc!" I'm just like, oh my. I do miss the kinky RTS lines. Third Nexus and a pylon does go down. Raven's going to go towards the main base. This is not a crazy fast third, but it's pretty well timed. I see a Viking, 4 Marines building. Oh, Classic! All over it, man. Classic looking good right now. And there's a second tank building, guys. So pretty safe play here for Maru. He's not cutting any corners, and yet this is the defensive Classic. This is the sort of Classic who's probing, making forge, making charge, and Maru's not taking advantage of it. So we were talking about at the start of this series, where players have started taking advantage of Classic for this sort of defensive nature, where he gets out 4 or 5 Blink Stalkers and then just sits at home macroing like a beast. Well, guess what? Classic played much more aggressive game 1 and game 2, And now in game 3, he gets away with this. And not only that, look at this. Oh, that sucks for Maru. He's going to lose it. I mean, it's at least trapped there. The Stalker could have picked it off, but he's kind of stuck here. You can leave a Stalker patrolling on both sides. He's never getting out of there. The Observer's even hunting for it. Like, classic shutting down the Raven. Very well played. Colossus has started up. A few more gateways coming in, so it's going to be 8-gate Colossus charge. Maru, Stim's almost done. Shields is on the way. He hasn't started the 3rd command center, so he's going to be pushing forward. Extended Thermal Lance will not be ready when he gets to the other side of the map, but it won't be far away. Especially if Maru is just now unsieging. Can Classic buy time for that extended Thermal Lance? Not to mention his 2nd Colossus will probably be starting up soon, so... And Maru's... Oh, he's SCV pulling? Oh, he's going all in! The Observer sees it, though! The Observer sees it! Oh, this is not the most elegant of all-ins for Maru. The Observer sees it, and Classic, he immediately plonks down 2 batteries there on the 3rd. I think the Natural might actually be the target, though. But he can always retreat to those shield batteries. He's got to get out here and slow this push down. But his army's in the wrong position. Classic, you're meant to be down here, buddy! Or is he purposely going to hit him from the side and then try and cut off the reinforce? It's kind of a cute way of doing it. The Zealots do go way too far forward, but he's trying to make him siege really far away. And look at that. Gets a bunch of SCVs, forces the siege. He rotates back. I'd love to see Zealots go cut off the counterattack, but he wants to win the fight right here. If he could cut off the rally, though. Dude, the Colossus are murdering! Absolutely massive damage, but the auto turret's actually tanking a few Colossus hits. The Colossus need to clear these Marines. Oh no, the Colossus in the open, but the shield batteries are there. One more Zealot warp and could change everything. That Colossus in the south is going to go down. This is an incredibly close game. Maru, I always feel like things aren't going his way, and then he just finds these ways to clutch it. But the bio's pretty heavily damaged. It is starting to heal up. The Stalker Zealot finally gets on that rally of Terran units, but he saves a few of them, gets back. Here comes the probe pull. The tanks are in the open. The Widow Mines! Watch out for the Widow Mines. All the probes go down, but Classic does successfully snipe the tanks. Maru, of course, dives, though, clears the Colossus, and says, I think that's okay. As long as I get rid of the Colossus, you don't really have much going on. It's a few Stalkers, a few Zealots. I got to pack a medevac stim bio. He stims again. He doesn't want to let the Robo survive. These probes are going to recall to the 3rd base. That's an incredibly cute move for Classic. Is there hope here for Classic against this amount of bio? I don't think so. I feel like Maru is so good at just... It's the game state does not matter when Maru always knows how and where to find victory. And it feels like you've got the best, most experienced players in the world who need to have such a detailed understanding of an extremely rare situation to actually get him out of the game. He always puts you in a situation, where the Widow Mines just killed every probe. He puts you in a situation where it's a very awkward and unfamiliar chaotic situation, and just nobody knows exactly how to adapt. They don't fumble a lot. They fumble a little, and that's all you need. The slightest fumble, and Maru's back in the game, all over you. It was a vicious SCV pull. It got spotted moving out of the base. Classic had all the time in the world to prepare. And it just did not matter. Maru is an absolute monster. Takes the series 2-1. Well, if you guys enjoy Maru just not caring about, how normal Terran players lose StarCraft games, and you want to see more of that action, you could support the Patreon if you feel like it. You don't need to. You could just watch the games for free anyway. But if you feel like you could support the Patreon, click the button on screen to check out the unique perks you can get a handle of. And of course, a big thanks to everyone who is watching who's already part of the Patreon and is listed here on the Wall of Bacon. And massive thanks to Neverless, our Leviathan, as well as our 3 conductors of the D-Town Express, Pete and Dragosar, Oko H, as well as everybody else here on the Wall of Bacon. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and good night.